Hello everyone, this is Maki. It's been about 3 months since the story of GQuuuuuuX came to an end. Yesterday, I discussed the contents of an interview that was published in the GUNDAM magazine. We discussed how director Kazuya Tsurumaki and scriptwriter Yoji Inokido dedicated themselves to the story. Once again, I'd like to share their comments and analyze the world they envisioned. Today, we are focusing on mobile suits and the companies that develop them. In the Universal Century and the Alternative series, mobile suit development companies are always key players in the story. They also play an important role when sequels or spin-offs are produced. So what is the situation of the mobile suit development companies in the world of GQuuuuuuX? Let's analyze it based on the director's comments. Before we dive into the main topic, I have a quick announcement to make. On my channel, I'm inviting support through memberships. For just 99 cents a month, you can get a name badge and a comment badge. Alright then, let's get started. When it comes to famous companies in the Universal Century world, Anaheim Electronics is undoubtedly the most prominent. In the Gundam series, it is extremely well known as a weapons manufacturer, starting with mobile suits. But it doesn't just produce weapons, it has also captured the majority of the market in civilian products, such as home appliances. Their famous catchphrase is from spoons to space battleships. So what kind of presence does Anaheim Electronics have in the world of GQuuuuuuX? The Anaheim Electronics logo appeared in the theme song, released by Kenshi Yonezu. However, the company itself never appeared within the story. Director Tsurumaki shared his thoughts on this matter. I felt that it wouldn't be good to define the settings too strictly or in too much detail, he said. Within the story, it was assumed that Zionic Company and Anaheim Electronics were equal corporations. Perhaps it's more accurate to say that their balance of power isn't perfectly equal, but close enough. Unlike in the traditional Universal Century world, Anaheim Electronics does not have a near monopoly on market share. We created this world to prevent Anaheim Electronics from secretly pulling the strings of history from behind the scenes. It seems then that Anaheim Electronics does exist in the world of GQuuuuuuuX. How will mobile suits continue to develop from here? As I mentioned yesterday, Haptimasi Roko has started designing and developing mobile suits. Magnet coating technology also exists, though it is still in the testing stage. In this world, the technologies that Anaheim Electronics once monopolized in the traditional Universal Century are now scattered across various places. Perhaps we will see an era in which mobile suits have vastly different characteristics depending on the faction that produced them. Mr. Tsurumaki then spoke about the settings related to mobile suits. This was a continuation of his comments about Anaheim Electronics. For example, he said there's a mobile suit called the Galbug. The MS-14 was under development, but Kisilia rejected this plan. She reasoned that a mobile suit created by dismantling and analyzing the stolen Gundam from the Earth's Federation forces should be adopted instead. This is also explained within the story. To carry out this proposal, Kisilia convinced Dazzler. Consequently, the MS-14 project was cancelled. As a result, the Zionic Company does not have a good relationship with Kisilia. The main mobile suit that Kisilia operated after the war was the Gian. However, the Gian was not designed or manufactured by Zionic Company, but by Zimmad Company. This is a very intriguing point. I had assumed that Kisili adopted the Gian to secretly strengthen her forces behind Jiren Zobi's back by selecting a mobile suit that performed worse than the Galguk in tests. However, according to Mr. Tsurumaki's interpretation, the truth is that because of the poor relationship between Kisilier and the Zionic Company, it was difficult for her to secure the Galguk for her own forces, so she adopted the Gian instead. This suggests that the Gian adopted into Kisilier's army may not have used many parts from the Zionic Company. Had it been formally adopted as one of the Zion Army's main mobile suits, it would not have been unusual for it to be equipped with standard Zion mobile suit weapons, such as those used by the Zaku. However, as it was designed prior to official adoption and cooperation with Zionic Company was difficult, the Gian may have been manufactured as a prototype level design. It is possible that the Gian cannot be equipped with Zoku machine guns, etc. Of course, this is only speculation on my part. I'd love to see a spin-off where the Gian gets more moments to shine. Ixabi's Gian survived the final battle in the story. There's definitely room for it to play an active role. Mr. Tsurumaki also shared his thoughts on the production of GQuuuuuuX. This was a continuation of his remarks about Gian. We created a setting because we wanted to add more elements to the story, he said. GQuuuuuuX wasn't manufactured by Zionic Company or Zimmad Company. A special team was set up to build it. It was handled by an organization similar to an independent military weapons factory under the Zion Army. This setting also reflects the idea of a world in which Anaheim electronics does not dominate the market. Mr. Inokido added to Mr. Tsurumaki's comments, saying the military laboratory that appeared in episode 8 is that organization. Following this, Mr. Tsurumaki expanded on the setting. In the story of GQuuuuuuX, I wanted to depict the military-industrial structure in a way similar to the story of F-91. The F-91 wasn't manufactured by Anaheim Electronics, but by Sonari. Sonari isn't a private company, but a military research facility. So I created the setting based on the idea that it was a military organization conducting research on Psychonu. It seems that Psychonu technology has not leaked out to private companies and only exists within the Zion Army's dedicated research institute. You might now be wondering something. How exactly did the Psycho Gundam obtain the technology required for its construction? Unfortunately, there is currently no information on this. Why did Basque and the remnants of the Earth Federation forces manage to acquire such top-secret technology? After all, in the world of GQuuuuuuX, the Gundam is a symbol of victory for the Zion Army. For the Earth Federation forces, however, it became a humiliating symbol, stolen by their enemies and turned into a massive threat. So why did they go to such lengths to manufacture mobile armor in the image of a Gundam? Was it to create the illusion of internal conflict within the Zion Army? Or was there another reason altogether? Interpreting these kinds of elements and imagining different possibilities is part of what makes the experience so enjoyable. This interview contains plenty more exciting content. I'll continue to share more of it with you, so please look forward to it. Thank you so much for watching until the end. See you again in the next program.